Welcome, everyone. We've got a lovely number of people today, 60 people so far.
Yay.
Happy Saturday to everyone. I wanted to do some introductions and basic housekeeping to start. My name is Indra Mangal, and I work in the education department at the Asian Art Museum. And my colleague Allison Wyckoff is with me. We work together on the public programs, and I'll introduce our teacher in a moment. Before we begin, there is an acknowledgement that's become very important to our museum in a range of ways. And we begin our programs acknowledging the land that we're on. The Asian Art Museum sits on the San Francisco Peninsula and is located within the unceded territories of the Ohlone peoples, the Ramaytush and Coastal Miwok. We remember their continued connection to this region and give thanks to them as we live, work, and learn on their traditional homeland. We offer respect to their elders and to all Indigenous people, past and present. Today, this session is being recorded and will be on our YouTube site in a couple days, probably by next Tuesday. So you can revisit it and share it with others. And lastly, we will be taking Q&A throughout this session. If you have questions that you're hearing about the breathing or the posture or any other questions or our state of mind while we're meditating, you can put them in the Q&A or chat box. And now I'd like to introduce our wonderful instructor who was with us a few months ago, and we're so happy to have her back. Dr. Lucy Xiao is a Zen priest at San Francisco Zen Center and a doctor of acupuncture and Oriental medicine. She grew up in China and has been practicing Zen for 20 years. Her deep roots in China, combined with Western influences, have expanded the horizons of her practice and the ways she shares the Dharma with others. While she is not sitting in meditation, she's connected with the wider world through teaching mindfulness and her holistic medicine practice, which you can find under her name. You can go to drlucyxiao.com. I'm going to put it in the chat box, and her website is fabulous. I'm looking forward to learning more about what her practice is. But without further ado, this is Dr. Lucy Xiao. Thank you.
Thank you, Indra. And let me make sure I have the right setup here. So I have my chat box up. And how do I?
What's your question? You want to?
I see. So I'm in gallery view now. And so let's.
If you go to speaker view, do you want to just see yourself?
Okay.
So for anyone else, just go to speaker view. At the top right, there's gallery or speaker.
Okay. So, well, good morning, everybody. And well, for those of you who don't live in the West Coast, good afternoon, good night, good day, and Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday break. And now it's time to start the year with some meditation. And my name is Lucy Xiao, as Indra said earlier. And I would like to share with you today a little bit about meditation, just to get warmed up in the beginning. And then we're going to do a 10-minute meditation session, and to just give it a try for those of you who have not done it before. And then we'll be able to take some questions and talk about it more before the second session. And in the second session, we are going to sit for another 10-15 minutes. And then we'll wrap up with more questions and answers and discussions. How's that? Okay. And so when we talk about meditation, oftentimes think of it as like sitting on the ground, sitting on the cushion with your legs crossed, with your mudra, and close your eyes and breathe, follow your breath. And that's what people normally think about meditation, which is correct, and which is what we're going to talk about and we're going to do today. But I want to make sure that we know that there are many forms of meditation also. There's also walking meditation, some kind of moving meditation, and anything that can bring our mind and body together to the present moment. I call it meditation. So, so the whole purpose about practicing meditation is to bring our mind and body and breath together and to experience what's going on now, what's happening in our mind and in our body and our breath, and take our normally very agitated mind, very agitated body, settle it back in the present moment. And so for one thing, meditation can help us to settle and relax. And then as we settle and relax more, then we learn more about ourselves, learn more about our thinking and feeling patterns, and learn more about how our body function. And essentially, in my mind, this practice will help us to accept and love ourselves more and love others more. And that's what I like to promote. And so before we start meditation, we want to make sure that we have the right setup. So you could use a cushion, you could sit in a chair, and try to find a quiet place in your home, and try to find like a regular time every day, or however regular you want to be. And you can meditate any time of the day, but morning and evening are usually good times. And try not to do it right after you eat. So not with a full stomach, but wait for half an hour or an hour. And you want air flow through the room you meditate, but you don't want the draft coming right onto your body, your neck and head, okay? And so the basic posture is that you sit upright, and with your structure, your spine and your skeletal sitting upright. And you can cross your leg, put one foot on the opposite thigh and the other foot on under the opposite leg. That's half lotus. Or you can just cross your leg kind of comfortably. Or if you sit in the chair, just sit in the front part of the chair, and make sure your knees are level or lower than your hips. And so with the posture upright, that's like the foundation and the structure. And then the muscles of your body and your face are relaxed. So think about a tree, like a very strong and tall redwood tree with a very upright spine, upright trunk. And then the branches, like our arms and our muscles, they are relaxed. They just come down naturally, okay? And shoulders are open, chest open, and your nose is kind of right above your navel. If you look down, it's in one line, and your ears are above your shoulders on one plane. And your chin tucked in a little bit, and you can look down on the floor, onto the floor right in front of you, about 45 degrees. And just with a very soft gaze, you kind of slightly open your eyes with a soft gaze without focusing. So if you want to keep your eyes slightly open that way, that's fine. And also in the beginning, some people like to close their eyes and just find their body, find their where their breath is. That's also fine. And just do it naturally. Natural is the key. Just do your meditation naturally. Okay, so after you sit down, you find your posture, you take some long breaths, find your breath, let your breath come in and out. And one way to do it is to force your, or tuck your belly in when you breathe out. So let your breath come out completely with a little help of your diaphragm. And then you let your breath come back in naturally without doing anything. And then after a few rounds, you can settle in a kind of a rhythm, just in and out. And if you find some sensations or you notice some sensations in your body, you just notice it. Just let it come, let it happen, and let it go. And you hear sound, the same. Let it come and let it go. If you have a thought, the same. Let it come and let it go. And because we are alive, all these things will happen. It's part of our life. The practice of meditation trains us to not get hooked so easily. While we're meditating, we watch what's happening with a calm mind and calm body. And if you find yourself getting pulled away, and you just come back to your posture, come back to your breath. That's your anchor, your body and your breath. So without further ado, let's sit for 10 minutes. I'm going to ring the bell 3 times to signal the start. And then when 10 minutes is over, I'll ring another 2 little bells. And during the first session, I may do a little guided meditation. I may speak just a little bit to help you get through this first session and help you settle. Okay.
Lucy, can I ask you just quickly, there's a question in the chat about the appropriate way of holding our hands while we meditate.
Yes,
thank you.
Good question. So in different traditions, that's different. And the most kind of natural way is you know, I'm not talking about any particular tradition. You can put your hands on your lap, on your knees or on your lap, or you can kind of in Zen tradition, we make a mudra which looks like this, like a little oval shape with your one hand above the other, and then thumb tips touching gently. You're not pushing, you're just touching gently. And then put this mudra, put this hand position under your navel. That way, your arm is like a circle, a bigger circle, and then your mudra is like a little circle in the big circle, and it's just kind of comfortably placed under your navel on your lap. Is that clear? Okay. So so let's do it. You're going to hear a bell or 3 dings, and we're going to start, and we'll meditate for 10 minutes. Okay. So sit comfortably on your cushion or chair. Find your foundation, your sits bone, your legs and knees. And from your foundation, your spine rises up. Elongated. Reaching the sky. Long spine. As if a tree is reaching for the light. your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. Just come down from your body naturally, like the branches of a redwood tree. Relax the skin and muscles on your face, your forehead, your jaw, feel the space behind your eyes and your nose. And your throat. And let your face and your jaw and your neck relax. Your tongue resting inside your mouth, and the tip of your tongue touching the upper palate of your mouth, just ever gently. Relax the muscles around your neck and shoulders, and let them just fall down. And notice where your breath is. You may notice it at the tip of your nose. You may notice in your chest, or in your belly. As your abdomen rises and falls. And just gently notice where your breath is. Let your mind be spacious. Like the blue sky above San Francisco today. And let sounds, smells, and thoughts come and go like the clouds. Come back to your posture and your breath if you get distracted. Thank you. How was that for everybody? Does anybody have any questions or any comments? If you want to ask anything or share anything, you can type in your chat box or Q&A. Thank you, Clay. Very peaceful. Hard to keep legs crossed for the entire time. Beautiful journey, thank you. How many times should one swallow? Okay, I'm gonna answer these questions one by one. Okay, so Kathy asked, hard to keep legs crossed for the entire time. And so if you are not familiar with meditation, crossing your leg, then you know your hips and knees might be a little tight, and so it's not easy in the beginning. Just like anything, any exercise, any skills you learn in the beginning, you're a little unfamiliar, a little stiff, and it takes time. It takes a lot of training and repetition. So one thing you can do is to, you want to sit on a cushion so that your sits bone and your hips are above your knees. That's one thing. And then you can cross your legs. You can cross your legs kind of loosely, just however it feels comfortable for you. You can cross it that way. And if you try to pull your foot up on the opposite thigh, if you are able to do that, that's good. And if you are, start to get uncomfortable, there are two things you can try. So one thing is to continue meditating that way and just watch the discomfort and pain arising, and without struggling with it. So that's kind of a very, it might be advanced training. It might not work for the beginners, but at some point, if you can learn to watch discomfort arising and watch how it might change throughout time. So as long as you don't get involved, you don't add, okay, I don't like this, okay, I wish it to go away. So don't add those personal judgment and emotions to the physical sensations, and then things could change. And so that's one thing you can play with. And the other thing you can do, obviously, is to gently move out of your posture and move into a more comfortable posture. But just don't jolt yourself out of your posture, because meditation is about mindfulness. So as you move, you want to be very mindful of, first, that you are attempting to move your body because of discomfort. So your mind starts to move, and then your body starts to move. And then you notice all the sensations as you move, and which, your hand touches your leg or your leg touches the cushion. So notice all the movement, and then you settle into a more comfortable posture and continue your meditation. And of course, outside meditation, you can do some yoga and do some stretching to help your body, your joints open more. And what I would suggest is that before you sit down to meditate, first stretch all your joints, sit down. And as you finish, get up and warm up your joints again and muscles. Okay, so, and now Amber asked, how many times should one swallow? What does it mean, Amber? What do you mean by swallow? I talked about breathing in and out in the beginning. So maybe 5 to 7 times, just help you to find your breath's rhythm. Is that what, if that's what you mean? You have a lot of saliva, maybe. If just do it naturally. During meditation, if you have saliva, you just swallow it. And that could be a sign of relaxation. So you just do it naturally. Don't think of meditation as something very very different from your life. It's just your life. If you want to, if you have saliva, swallow it. Okay, and then so important to breathe out through your mouth. Actually, as you settle into your meditation, you want to breathe in and out through your nose. In the beginning, as you try to find your breath, you can breathe out through your mouth several times, but once you settle, you do it through your nose. Should the breathing be deep enough to go down to the belly? Let it happen naturally. So now, except for the first few breathing in and out, as I mentioned, using your diaphragm to try to engage your body to breathe. But otherwise, let your breath happen naturally. And when your body is relaxed, it will naturally go to your belly. It doesn't go down to your belly in the beginning. For some people, it's because your chest is tight, your shoulder, neck and shoulder are tight. So when up here is tight, then your breath just becomes shallow and get trapped up here. And so after you meditate for a while and you relax, and naturally it will go deeper and go lower. Sway, rock, and rock back and forth. Yes. So when you sit down, you stretch a little bit. You can rock left and right, and you can rotate your hip and just do a little warm up. Yes, that would be good. Hold your hand in this, any significance to hold your hand in this specific mudra way. I think it has something to do with how the energy, how qi flows in your body. When you form a round, kind of a circular posture, qi flows better. And if you study Tai Chi, all the movements are circular. And like water always flows kind of in curves, in flowing, not straight line. It always curves. So when we are in this kind of circular posture, motion, our energy kind of circulates in the body better. That's my understanding. And there might be other explanations. If you find out, let me know. And that's also just a Zen tradition. And sometimes when you are in a certain tradition, you just do what you've been taught, and then it feels good, and then you just keep doing it. Bad posture, hard to relax. Try to, most of us sit in front of the computer all day, and maybe not with very good posture. And so that's already a habit in the body. So it's hard to change our habit overnight. And so when we first sit down to meditate, we try to build a better habit for the body, a new habit. So as long as you set the intention and practice, and gradually it will happen. And just follow the guidelines and practice, even if it's a few minutes a day. And maybe throughout the day, take a few minutes here and there to check in with your body and your posture, and encourage yourself to let go. Okay. And it felt like 2 minutes, not 10. Oh, it's actually 11 minutes. In your mouth increasing. Wow. Okay. So yeah, some people are more sensitive and they may feel more things happening. And the main thing is that whatever happens, you just notice it. That's your job. Your job just to notice what's happening. Curious, feel more having your left hand cradle. Yes, in my mind, yes, you can kind of switch out your hand. They give different names to different when you hold your mudra differently. I see. Good practice too. Yes, when you meditate, turn off your phone. Don't worry about your phone and email. Do you breathe? Positivity and exhale negativity. Yes, so that's the question is, do you breathe in positivity and exhale negativity? That's a very specific practice in a Tibetan tradition, as far as I know. And so in this meditation practice that I just talked about, you don't need to do that. You just do it. You just follow your breath. And you know, there are many different ways to meditate. Will the recording be shared? I believe it will be in YouTube.
We've already answered about the recordings, but I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Just being mindful of time, we probably should
Go on.
transition to our next
Thank you.
sit. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we already talked a lot back and forth. So let's do another 10 minutes of meditation. And this time I'm not going to talk. And you just recall what we just talked about, and then mainly to find your own body, find your own body, find your own breath. Okay, and then we will do it again. And so I'm going to ring the bell again. And after 10 minutes, I'll ring another bell. Okay. So thank you very much for your questions. Thank you. So we have a few more minutes before we end this morning's program. And how was the second session comparing to the first one? Were you able to settle? Oh, wonderful. And are there any more questions? Oh, I think there was a question earlier about tongue tips, tongue touching the upper palate. I think again, it has something to do with the flow of energy. That kind of connects well, in Chinese medicine, we talk about meridians and channels. So yeah. And so someone mentioned that she's breathing more deeply. And the second time also deeper. So as we relax more, breathing just happens more naturally and more goes deeper and longer.
I'm sorry. Can
yes.
you show the bell? Someone had a question about the bell that you were using. I'm wondering if you
Yes.
could use that.
It looks like this. Isn't that fun?
Sadly, the Zoom really makes the bell sound very off. It's usually so beautiful in real life. Yeah, you can't hear the end part of when it trails out. So,
oh, really?
It's Zoom or the computer.
I can't tell from my end. But yes. So for some people, the second session was easier, and for others, more difficult. So that just says something about yourself, and then it will change as you practice more. And there are always easier sessions and more difficult sessions as things in your life change. And as long as you remember that to come back and to anchor yourself with your body and breath, then you'll be able to come back to the present moment. And the present moment is just where we are at, where our body and mind is. So thank you so very much. And thank you, Indra and Allison, for your help. And I wish everybody a beautiful day and a beautiful year.
Thank you so much. That was an incredible session. And I'm also breathing deeper. I'm feeling really, really healing. Thank you all for attending. We really appreciate that you've come out and support this, but also take care of yourselves. This is about time to take care of ourselves. Very important, very critical right now. And so thank you all. And please look for this on our YouTube page. It'll be up in a couple of days. Thank you, Dr. Lucy.
My pleasure.
And check out her website too.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Take care of yourself and take care of each other.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.